Listen to these remarks made by US President Joe Biden to his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelenskyy during an official visit to the White House.
The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes.
Now, the first question to President Biden at this press conference was,
in 2022, you presided over a bipartisan international coalition to support Ukraine. How will you keep that coalition from fraying in 2023?
This is when an idealistic message of solidarity meets with a very real challenge for the US and Ukrainian leaders: the absence of an endgame in the fight against Russia, or at least a concrete plan towards it. The stakes are getting higher, with many dreading a potential stalemate. The threat for Zelenskyy here is the prospect of waning public support abroad, as Western societies become increasingly preoccupied by domestic issues and some citizens complaining about the rationale behind, quote, paying for someone else's war. The fact that Zelenskyy took a risky trip outside Ukraine for the first time since the conflict began reveals just how necessary he feels it is to continue rallying for Western support. For now, he's bringing home nearly $2 billion of additional aid, and finally, something he's been asking for months: Patriot missile batteries. President Biden has reiterated that this weapon system is defensive in nature and therefore doesn't represent an escalation in the conflict. But that's not how Russia would see it. It's why the US had been withholding the Patriot missile in the first place. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Zelenskyy's trip, quote, suggests that the United States is continuing its line of de facto fighting and indirect war with Russia to the last Ukrainian. This is how Russia perceives these developments, blaming the US for further escalations in Ukraine. America could be sending $45 billion more in aid to Ukraine soon. President Zelenskyy wanted to assure the US that this will not be charity, but an investment in global security and democracy. Given the direction the conflict is heading in, this aid could just as well be a taller and taller stack of chips in a high-power struggle.